So now I would like to ask our next speaker, Mr. Howard, to take the floor. He was chairman of the Democratic Party from 2005 to 2009, and prior to that, he was governor of Vermont for 12 years.
Thank you.
You have the floor.
I want to thank Madame Rajavi for her extraordinary leadership. I want to thank Mr. Garces for his plan, his 10-point plan. I think it's something that we need to do. Oftentimes, when I come to Europe, I come to conferences, and my favorite thing to say is that the Europeans always criticize the Americans because we always act without thinking. But of course, we also like to come to Europe because they always think without acting. Now we have less than 6 months to act. The time is now. I would concur with Madame Rajavi's views on the United States complicity in this tragedy. In fact, the United States policy in this part of the world has been a disaster for 60 years, starting with the assassination of Prime Minister Mossadegh. Had that not happened at that time, we would not be facing what we are facing today. The United States, over the years, has learned not to assassinate democratic leaders. It was a painful lesson. But there is much we have to learn. In 2003, you may remember that I spoke out against sending our troops into Iraq. One of the reasons I said that in 2003 was that the winner of the war in Iraq between the United States and Saddam Hussein was going to be the government of Iran. And that is exactly what has happened. And the United States today has sacrificed 5,000 of our brave soldiers so that we could have an Iranian ally, the prime ministership of Iraq, who is committing war crimes against innocent people who have been guaranteed safety by the United States of America. The United States government is responsible for what happens in Ashraf, and we are going to be responsible whether we say we have responsibility or not. Because of our intervention in Iraq, Nouri al-Maliki is the prime minister. And because Nouri al-Maliki is the prime minister, 34 unarmed civilians who have no crime greater than opposing the authoritarian theocracy in their homeland were murdered by people who used our training and our equipment and our looking the other way in order to commit those murders. Wesley Clark, General Wesley Clark, who was the Supreme Commander of NATO and ran for president the same year I did, recently said that I know a war crime when I see one, and this is a war crime. The Prime Minister of Iraq is now, because of the great work of Mr. Garces and others in Spain, being sought after on charges of being a war criminal. And when the Prime Minister of Iraq leaves office, as he said he will at the end of his term, he had better go back to where he spent all those years under the mullahs, because otherwise we will give him free room and board in The Hague while he attends his criminal trial for being a war criminal. Prime Minister Nouri al-Maliki is a war criminal, and what happened at Ashraf is a war crime, and the United States has an obligation to do something about it. Our country must stop being on the wrong side of history in this region. We can choose the path that the Dutch chose at Srebrenica, or we can stand up for human rights. America is a great country because we have always stood for human rights.